So we'll start with the Diva changes. I actually might pull this up on stream first. Yeah, we're going to pull this up here so you guys can read it too. Right? I think that's probably best for the video format. Let's go. All right, so let's start with Diva here, right? I actually don't mind this. I don't think it's that big of a deal. You know, that might just be senseless power creep, but it's not a fundamental issue. So if I was to make this balance, like this, to be fair, before we say anything, this is meant to be a wacky, fun patch. But what would it look like if it was supposed to be balanced? So that's what we're going to be doing today, is going through the fun patch and saying, Sam, what would you do to it if you wanted to make it more balanced and have an even playing field for a lot of characters, just for like a competitive setting, right? So I think defense matrix is fine. Boosters, okay. Diva boosters should remain unchanged. Let's do this. We're going to bold it. Diva. Okay. Boosters remain unchanged instead of going to 4 seconds. Right? I actually don't even need the asterisk there, I don't think. So yeah, boosters don't need to get changed. It's what makes Diva punishable, and if she can fly around the map like that, especially with like a lot of the stuff she has, she'll be super, super good. So we really don't want that. The speed increase by 25%, if we want to keep that, I think we can. Personally, I wouldn't do it yet. So I'm going to say speed remains the same, because the thing is about Diva, if Brig gets changed to where she's not like hard meta and she can just automatically gatekeep, like Diva will just be objectively way better than Zarya, and she's already been power crept quite a bit, so we don't want to touch her. We want to wait and see how she reacts after Brigitte has had her fundamental issues attempted to be fixed. Again, I'm still unsure about Brig, but it's definitely the first time we've seen a big step in the right direction. So yeah, Diva, she can maintain her 10% matrix increase, but she doesn't need anything else other than that. All right. Oh wait, I need to go through this. Ejecting at mech. I actually don't mind this at all, but she also melee damage in pilot form remains default. So yeah, like this, honestly, I don't even think this is that big of a deal. I think this actually might be funny, right? This is just good fun. It's not necessarily bad, so we can leave that in there. That's all in good fun. So Orisa, I don't even know what to say about this. This is so troll. I think it's funny. I wouldn't do any of this though. I kind of already said what I would do to Orisa in my previous like fix Overwatch patch video, so I'm actually not going to cover that. If you guys want to see what I said we need to do to Orisa, you can go watch that video. I'm not going to sound like a broken record here on kind of like the super troll changes, because there's no real need to do that, right? Because we kind of already know what we want to do with these characters. So we're going to skip Orisa. If you want to see what I do to Orisa, you can go watch my previous video, which will be down in the description. So Reinhardt, barrier. I actually like this change a lot. I do not really see a problem with this. I would actually keep this in the game. I think that whenever Ryan's good, the game is good. So I think that Ryan could use the shield, especially with a lot more flyers being better in the game, and Zenyatta and barriers going to Discord. I think that this is a really good change to Reinhardt. So I'd actually let him keep his 2000 HP barrier. Fire Strike, damage reduced to... I don't mind these, to be honest. I don't mind the 2 Fire Strike charges, but the prog speed wouldn't come in. So I would say Reinhardt, prog speed only increased by 25%. So I'll give it 25, because if it does 20% less damage, right, it should do 25% roughly more speed, because like that damage is more important than the projectile speed, generally more consistently. So you can give it a little bit more projectile speed if you want it to be balanced than damage. So I think that the increased fire strike speed, if he has 2 charges and it does less damage, having it do a little bit more speed is totally okay. And it enables Reinhardt. Like, enable Reinhardt. The game's good when Reinhardt's good. Reinhardt's one of the most big brain characters in the game, and it's a beautiful character. So yeah, all right. Charge can now be ended early by pressing like the key charge key a second time. I like that. I think it kind of needs to happen, but I think he should come out of the animation a little bit slower than he does. It shouldn't instant cancel. There should be a little bit of a punishability there. So charge cancel isn't instant. It has maybe half a second downtime coming out of it, so it adds a bit of counterplay. And hold on, I got a message. Let's see. Please be Beaver. Oh, there's Beaver. How do I know it's Beaver? Writing a balance patch right now. I'm down after. Beaver fever, baby. I knew it was Beaver, chat. It's just I'm psychic out here. Right? So, yeah, just when you add big utility like this to abilities, you need to add a little bit of a drop-off so you can maintain counterplay so they don't end up oppressive. Give Ryan charge maybe half a second coming out of it where he can't shield or he can't swing. He just has to, like, get up instead of just insta-cancel. I think that'd be really, really good. So, yeah, we'll add half a second to that. Then Earth Shatter. Okay. Knockdown duration increased from 2.5 to 3 seconds. I like this. I think, again, it kind of showed how out of touch the development team was when everyone was complaining about CC and they nerfed Shatter. I thought that was pretty funny. It's like, damn, CC's too strong. What does Blizzard do? Nerf the most inconsistent stun in the game. So I thought that was really, really funny. Yeah, this is fine. Now deals 400 damage in a 1.5 meter radius around the impact point. What I would do is Shatter now does 100 damage to everyone within. What was that meter range? Can we give it 2? If it's only 100 damage, I think we can give it 2. Well, we'll give it 1.5. We'll give it 1.5. We'll keep it 1.5. It doesn't need to be 400. 400 is obviously just for good fun and just slamming Roadhogs down, making Reinhardt god tier. It's all in good fun for the experimental. But if you were to balance it, I think that can actually stay in the game. Let's get Ryan back in the game. But yeah, Shatter now does 100 damage to everyone 1.5 meters. So I think that's fun, good fun. Let's do it. Why not? Earth Shatter lines can stay in the game. I love the BM. What was so fun about the Reinhardt back in the day was the mind games, right? That you used to play between characters. And I love that there's like a visual, like there's an audio representation of that, rewarding Ryan players for being smart because everyone knows those mind games. It's made Overwatch so much fun of the Reinhardt spamming voice lines at each other. And what's so funny about Ryan mains is they all have very similar personalities. Like I would say if you could guess the personality of like anyone in the tank role, it's easiest to guess the Reinhardts because you guys know the type. You guys absolutely know the type of Reinhardt players. They embody the character's personality perfectly. So we know exactly what we're talking about with that. I personally love that energy around. Those kind of guys. If they main Reinhardt, those are the kind of guys you want to surround yourself with in life because they're generally. I've only met like one like very weird like kind of cringe Ryan player, but you know, excuse me, you're talking to Bronze Damage. LOL. But yeah, no, every other Ryan player is just Chads all around. I don't dislike anybody, by the way, just letting you know. So Steadfast increase from 30 to 40%. This is broken. We're not going to do that. In fact, I actually am going to reduce Steadfast to 25% because if he's going to get the extra 400 health on his shield, he doesn't, and if he gets the extra 400 health on his shield, multiple fire strikes, charge cancel, right? I might make it 20. I'm not going to lie to you. I might make it 20. This kind of answers why Ryan needed Steadfast to begin with because he was just getting bullied and it didn't make sense. He didn't have any tools at his disposal to really deal with newer characters in the game. But these changes give him the tools to do so. So you don't really need to give him passive ult value. You want Reinhardt to have to be proactive because that raises the skill ceiling and doesn't give players value for no reason, right? Passive abilities, especially when they're up 100% of the time, can be kind of risky to balance. So you actually don't want to do this. You want to just make it so that Steadfast is about 25% to start. If we need to make it 20, we can. But this is to compensate for the rest of the things that will make him a much better pick altogether. Now, let's go on to Roadhog. Ready? Roadhog is dog shit. Easily the worst tank in the game right now. So let's get down here to Roadhog.
Greetings.
So I actually kind of like his health change. I think Roadhog gets away with way too much right now, especially in high-level play. I don't like this. I think we keep his damage. So revert the damage changes to hook and pellets to what they were before to start, right? Chat, if you were me, would you take a breather, or would you reduce his health to 500? Because this, like, I personally would, well, We either keep the take a breather change or we keep his health change, but we don't keep both. I'm not sure what the effect of either one would be. I think we reduce breather. I think we reduce breather too. I think the breather change stays and then revert health back to 600. So we're going to keep the breather change because Hog is just too unpunishable. He's really, really silly in ranked, and it's just you can't beat him on your own. But breather, with the 50% damage reduction, the ability to move, it doesn't need to heal 300 health. So really, this is actually a net. If you change it to 250, it ends sooner, which means the damage reduction also ends sooner, which makes it balanced. So again, when you mess with two things of utility at the same time like that, with health pool and the breather, that's a prime example of accidentally dumpstering a character. And we all kind of saw how Hog got dumpstered on the experimental so far. So you got to be really careful. And again, this is meant to be kind of a wacky patch, so it's no big deal. But that's like a really, really good prime example about why you have to be really careful about changing big utility and abilities at the same time, because those things tend to stack exponentially and have really, really big impacts. So you got to be careful when you do that stuff. So yeah, Sigma. I'm also not going to talk about Sigma too much here. I actually kind of like this. I think this is possible, but I haven't seen enough from him yet to tell you whether or not this is good or better or worse than what I suggested in my original patch. I kind of like how crazy this is. So I'm not going to change anything, but actually, okay, here's what I'm going to change, actually. We're going to change one thing about this Sigma, because I'm down. Like, there are multiple ways you can take Sigma, and all of them can be healthy for the game. So it's not a bad thing. We're going to make it so that his grasp gives you a like 25%. Grasp only gives 25% speed boost whilst active. So yeah, we're going to change that. 100% is kind of nuts. I think this Sigma playstyle might actually be more fun. So we'll see. I want to see more from that. That's the one thing. Again, Sigma is a big question mark on a lot of these patches because it's really hard to decide where you want to take the guy. So yeah, Winston. Oh, okay. All right. Now deals up to 100 damage to enemies within 4 meters of the launch location. I actually removed both of these things. Here's why. I'll get to why in a second. So Winston. Reverts all initial jump changes, damage and velocity buff. Because I think that the Winston velocity buff is actually kind of a nerf because it makes it much harder to juggle targets with Primal. And with the Primal buffs, it's kind of a double-edged sword. So I think that we revert the speed just so that Winstons can control their Primal much more, especially with that 1,500 health. Yeah, I don't think we really need to do too much other than that. So, Primal Rage. Oh, wait, where? Yeah. Primal Rage. I think we make the health bonus 750 instead of 1,000. Primal health bonus only only, wait. Oh, yeah, only 750 instead of 1,000. Still can take normal knockback, because being able to CC Winston away while he's primaling is one of the few things that makes the character like balance, and it adds counterplay to a character whose health pool is that big, especially if you're buffing the health pool. So again, if you want to balance the game, it's really, really risky to buff the health and the passive value at the same time, the utility, because if you do, you end up making something incredibly overpowered. When it comes to those things, you want to take it one step at a time. So we're going to slow it down, see how he reacts to the initial health buffs, especially with Brig not being as prevalent to bash him and peel teammates. So yeah, Winston Primal, we're going to do that. And in general, this is why I'm not doing this. Because this is going to make sure that BAP can't gatekeep him so that he actually has a lot of options to be played. So we're going to say no to this, or we're going to say yes to this and leave this in the game. I actually like this a lot. It adds counterplay to the game. It's healthy. It's good. And it gatekeeps the broken heroes that have ruined the game, especially the DLC heroes that have never been implemented very well. So, Yeah, that's gonna do it for Winston. Now, Ball, I like this change here. We're not gonna change this. I actually really like the pile drive changes. I do not like this though. Okay, this needs to get reduced by like 20 or 30%. Ball moves too fast. But I like the jump height change and I like the PD change and I like all of these except for the speed. So we're gonna say wrecking ball. Ball seems a little too fast. We're going to reduce that speed by 25%, say. Just slow him down just a little bit so playmakers can still make plays, but I think Ball is way too fast after seeing that game. What up, Shockwave? How are you, bud? So I think the Ball, he's like literally like he's just running and rolling around Narnia, but I do like, especially for low ranked players, because Ball's a very weird character like that. He's really hard like to PD a lot. Like I notice my friends, like Johnny tries to play Ball in gold, my roommate, and he has trouble finding places to pile drive sometimes. So I think making it a little bit easier to pile drive is not necessarily a bad thing. So yeah, DPS or Zarya. Okay, wait a second. Okay, so chat, Zarya is. I think we should only do one of these things. I think. Shockwave, let me ask you this. If you're still in chat, I don't know if you're still there. Which one of these two would you do if you had a chance to put it live? A size increase, give or take any value, or the health increase to bubbles. I think we can do one of them, but I don't know. We can't do both. Both of them are just obnoxious. Really, really obnoxious. I think you should do. I think I would do size because it allows you to body block people more, but I don't know if it's. I really don't think it's that big of a deal. But one of them can happen. I'm not sure. See, no, but if it's a health increase, it makes Zarya a little oppressive, especially if you increase her minimum fire damage. I guess. Well, actually, that's a big of a deal. Do size by 33%. That's what I'm gonna do too. So we're gonna say Zarya. Here's what we're gonna do. We can keep her base damage in there, so we're going to say, oh shit, bubble, okay, well, bubble size increased only by 30%, bubble health reverted to 200, knockback from alt fire increased only by 50%. So you can like rocket jump up to more places and stuff. But it's not knocking kids to Narnia every time you shoot them. So yeah, I think that's a good change. That's the tanks. Now this is where it gets interesting. All right, this is where it gets interesting. We're gonna go to damage here. All right, so we're gonna go DPS heroes. Ashe. I don't even need to look at this. Only has one coach gun. Just revert dynamite nerfs. Ashe honestly doesn't need to get touched. It's just I don't know. The two coach guns were silly, and get that hip fire out of here too. Revert everything. Just revert everything. Revert everything. All right, we're just. Just didn't need to happen. It was done for a fun experimental patch, but she just does not need these changes at all. So we just revert everything on Ashe. Revert everything on Ashe. Cassidy, fan the hammer. Here's what I'm gonna do to Cass, boys. Here's what I'm gonna do to Cass. Ready? Revert health to 200. Remove the hit scan fall off nerf from him. Glass cannon. Revert every other change made. So basically, I talked to Wanted about this, and I think Wanted was right. It's just like McCree should be, or fuck, Cash should be. God damn it. more of a glass cannon. I think that we just kind of removed his options and we lowered his skill ceiling. And when you remove skills, like the problem with Cass has always just been his stun fan. I don't like punishing his aim. I think we should punish his bullshit gimmicky cooldowns, not his aim. You should be rewarded for having good aim and making plays, but instead we decided to punish for that. So when I said that hit scan should be nerfed, I personally thought that it would have been better to nerf their cooldowns rather than their actual damage output. But you could do either one. But I think that in hindsight, lowering the skill ceiling of characters has never really been good for the game. So we should allow good hit scan players to pop off with the Cass, and we don't really need to worry about anything other than that. So, yeah. Let's see who's next. Bastion. Let's just not even do this. Let's just Bastion. Okay. Revert everything. Again, it's just for fun in this patch. So like if you're gonna try to balance it, we don't really want to change him too much. There's no need to, right? He's kind of silly and all over the place. Okay. All right. So Bastion doesn't really need too many changes. Doomfist. All right. Now this is interesting. I can tell you right now, this needs to get changed. This is broken. This is actually so broken. It needs to get changed. So I would say either you make this 0.75 or 0.8. So Doomfist. Okay. Ult drops at 0.8. We'll say 0.75 second instead of 0.5. There isn't enough counterplay. It's just there's not enough counterplay. It's just a little gimmicky. It needs to not be in there. What up, Cyrus? I'll play Pugs in a minute. I'm making a video for if I was to try to balance, like not have it be wacky, the experimental, and put it to live. This is what I would do. So yeah, the Doom ult is too good. It needs to get nerfed. It's silly. As for the shields and health change, I honestly am not sure about it yet. I'm honestly not sure. Because this might actually be broken. Need room for what? For making patch? Or for Pugs? I definitely want to play Pugs here in a minute. I'm not playing comp. Comp is dog shit. Here's the thing. This rewards good players, but makes it so bad Doom players get shit on. And like if Dooms don't know how to engage, they get dumpstered. But what's scary about Doomfist has always been that at his skill ceiling, he can be really oppressive. So just to be safe, I'm not going to fuck with this yet. We're going to revert this too. Because I have a feeling if BAP and Brig aren't in the game and it's hard rush meta, Doom might be too good if it's hard rush meta. So I don't want to mess with this until we see how the game plays if Brig isn't dominant at high level play. So reverts, health, and shield changes. This is playing it safe. We don't want to break Doomfist. We don't want to make him broken because he's a very niche character and that's what he should be played as. So we're going to be slow with that and react rather than be proactive, especially since Doomfist is not a problematic hero in the game. When heroes aren't problematic, you want to react and see how they interact when you change the problems like Brig. So we have to wait and see what happens on a secondary patch before we jump the gun on Doomfist. So Doomfist changes. Yeah, Genji. Honestly, this is fine. I think this is fine, but I think we also make it so Blade can't be damage boosted. What are people doing? What are you doing, Cyrus? Let me finish this, then I'll play. Yo, what up?
You need people?
Oh, I'm sitting in a lobby right now. No, I'm not actually playing. I was in the practice range. I will play in probably about like 10 or 15 minutes, though. Whenever I finish this, I'll play.
Aight. Do you still need people, though?
Yes, for sure. Hey, work on it with work on it with Craggy and Beaver, and then we'll do that.
I can listen here.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm so down. I'm so down. We'll play in like 10 or 15, okay?
Yeah, I said he's down.
All right, bet. We'll do it. Give me a sec. All right, bet. We're definitely going to play Pugs. We're definitely going to play Pugs. Okay, so I think that I actually like these Genji changes. I think they're good. I'm worried about this. I'm worried about. No, actually, I'm not worried about this. With how good Moira is, no shot. So yeah, this can all go. This is because this is all like not huge impact utility. So this is okay. We're gonna keep Genji the same. Main keeps changes. Blade can't be damage boosted. Reduce ult charge by 10%. Blade is not oppressive, so you can do this. Blade can't be damage boosted. Revert damage nerf on it and reduce ult charge by 10%. Blade is just not problematic. It does so little damage, and if you can't damage boost it, it'll be fine. So I think that's a good change altogether. I am worried about the shuriken recovery time, so we're going to be paying really, really close attention to that if that ever happens. So moving on, we're going to go to Hanzo. Okay, Hanzo. Lunge CD reverted. And now, honestly, now hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Okay, that Genji triple jump is a bug. That's not infinite fly. The infinite fly is a bug. Now hear me out. That's really not that good. And that was actually fun. I think that should stay in the game. I think that should stay in the game. But it shouldn't ricochet 5 times. It should only ricochet like 1 time. Guys, look. Here's what we do. Here's what we do. How about this? Because I think it's fun. It doesn't one-shot. As long as it doesn't one-shot anybody, I really don't think it's a problematic. So, arrow, storm, arrow, reduced to 3 arrows. He'd be bad. 4. Because if hard rush was meta, guys, Hanzo would be dog shit. I'm telling you. No, Cyrus, but hear me out. Hanzo only busted because of where the game is at right now. If like hard rush was played and you reduced the arrow count and you got rid of all the bullshit in the game and it let dive characters like Genji who can dive him more consistently and you reduce the arrow count, maybe increase the CD, it's not going to be that oppressive. You also have to reduce the ricochet to 1. Only 1 time. I personally think it'll make the hero fun and not boring. I loved Scatter because it was fucking wild, not because of the one shot. I liked banking shots at people. So you only let it ricochet 1 time. It doesn't go and fucking hit a kid in Narnia, and it's just fun. And I think that I really do think that Hanzo. Well, actually, hold on. I'm thinking backwards here because here's the problem. We actually need to wait on that ricochet. Because, well, I have to balance Moira first, so we're actually going to wait. Hold on. I'm thinking, for some reason in my head, I'm thinking as if these experimental support changes went through, but they're not because I'm changing those too. So we're going to wait. Hold on. I just brain farted for a second. Hold on. So we're not going to touch Hanzo until we change supports. So we're going to go back and, but yeah, he does, oh, what the fuck did I just hit? We're not even going to mess with that right now. So, Junkrat, revert. We're just going to revert all this shit. Junkrat, revert. Revert everything. Revert everything. We're just Pharah, this is the crouch is too much. We're gonna wait on Pharah too. Pharah. Okay. Revert everything. I kind of want to do to Pharah. Yeah, actually, revert recovery time nerf from 2020. So she gets her jump jets back a little bit faster. I think RNG net potential is at like Moira Orb. If it only ricochets once, Cyrus, and it doesn't one shot, and you spread out the fire rate on it so that the players move, it has time to move before the second arrow hits, it won't ever really one shot anybody because it's storm arrow. The damage cap can't one shot, and it has to hit a head off the bank, which won't happen consistently. Unlike Scatter, which just had so many arrows where if you banked it, it just consistently killed way more. But if because Storm Arrow was spread out more, and if it ricocheted once or twice and it has to hit the head while players are moving, not just at one burst impact, it'll almost never one shot. So I think it'll be okay. But we're still gonna wait on it regardless. Revert this Reaper shit too. Reaper. Revert everything. Because here's the thing, guys. If Brig is not fundamentally broken, it buffs every tank and DPS in the game indirectly. So we don't need to touch them. Okay, here we go. Soldier. We're just going to revert Soldier too, I think. We're just going to revert Soldier. Because I think he's actually going to be really good without... I think he'll be much... I think revert everything. He doesn't need it. Like, again, you can't buff damage until you see how the game plays without Brig, because I think we're actually going to end up nerfing damage after Brig's gone. Believe it or not. But that's my instinct. Sombra, we're just going to revert that too. We're just going to revert that too. We're going to wait. We're going to wait. We can get wild with changes after we see how the game plays without Brig dominating it. So yeah, we're gonna revert all of this. Actually, all of this shit gets reverted. All the other DPS heroes get reverted here. So Symmetra, Torb, Tracer, and Widow all get reverted. Sim, revert, Torb, revert. Oh, shit. Revert. Tracer, definitely revert. Tracer is broken, by the way. Tracer is the best hero in the game. Widow. Actually, wait. There's one thing I want to do to Widow, chat. Is Iced in my chat right now? I hope Ice is in my chat right now, because there's one really important thing you need to do to Widow. Remove from the fucking game. Get this hero out. Get it out. Get it the fuck out of here. Fucking shit hero. Yeah. Sorry. I misspelled revert. Fucking stupid ass hit scan exploiters on my fucking chat. Look at these kids. All right. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. The support. And I think the support changes were the most interesting out of all of them, because I think they actually can be the most applicable to the game. So, Ana, I actually do not mind the sleep dart changes. I don't really think that's that big of a deal. If you can, it has to be a final blow. If Ana final blows a sleeping target, give her the cooldown back. Fuck it, I don't care. If you have the timing in the middle of a crazy team fight to get a final fucking blow on somebody, I don't care, because I think that Ana is really gonna struggle against Moira and Bap, like a lot. So giving her value like that actually would be really helpful to the kit. That wouldn't be game breaking because it takes a lot to set up. So we're gonna actually keep that in the game. I want to see how it works, but it needs to be final blows. So sleep kills. Sleep reset must be final blows from Ana. Okay. Self nano, I like that too. I think I don't have any issue with allowing Ana to be a playmaker herself. I think she needs it to keep up with a lot of the AoE healers in the game. So I actually think that this is okay. I want to see how it plays. I don't think anyone dislikes Ana, but we might need to nerf nano. If this is a thing, I'm going to be paying really close attention to her, because you might need to nerf nano to compensate. But we'll see. This is kind of up in the air right now. This is you put it out and you see how it reacts. Bap, we're just going to revert everything. Okay, we're going to... Bap. Revert everything. Ammo to damage reduction. Nerf window length by 25%. Fucking literal garage door is so stupid and unbelievably broken. It's just his AoE healing is already good. We already talked about how we needed to change BAP in my previous video. Overtuned ass hero that does so much, it's unbelievable. So we're gonna change that. Okay, we're gonna change that. Who's next? Brig. We're not okay. Brig, Pax, pack maximum threshold reduced back to 3. I want to see it. Like, look, Brig's utility has been so good for so long that it just needs to be straight up nerfed, and we need to see how it reacts. Because even after 19 nerfs from Jeff Goodman, she still is like the best support in the game. This hero needs a straight up nerf, and that's what Inspire is going to do. So we're going to check this out. I'm actually okay with this Inspire like making packs come back faster. I think this is actually a really good change, not for high ranks, but for low ranks. So low rank players do a better job of like actually proccing it and getting value from it. So I actually kind of like that quite a bit. Lucio, okay, all right. You know, look, Reg Show, I'm sorry, kid. I'm sorry, kid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Brig is supposed to self-heal with Inspire. She still will self-heal with Inspire. Right now, she's not self-healing because it's a bug. But Brig will still self-heal with Inspire. Lucio, beat, okay, Jesus. Beat cost reduction only 20% instead of 30. You know what, dude? Fuck it. We'll let him keep it. We'll let him keep it. But here's what I'm scared about, chat. If I made it so that if Lucio's dropped the beat from higher up and land on someone, it does more damage, all these fucking dumbass Reddit Lucios like Be the Boss who just int games off cooldown are just going to be doing it the whole game instead of playing the hero properly and just getting the beat down. So I really, that's why I don't want it. That's why you can't make it by height, because these kids would literally just be hard trolling. So you like, because let's be real about these Lucio players, they're absolute trolls. So it's just kind of fucked. We'll let them. Dropping beat on someone only does 175 damage. Okay. Maybe 100. No, it's got to be 100. It's got to be 100 because Shatter's 100. We're gonna make Barrier and Shatter do the same amount of total damage to people. So it's not game breaking, but it's still useful utility that you could. That's risky that you can get some reward for, especially with combos and stuff. So I actually think that's okay. Because the sound barrier, if you reduce the cost, that's just really, really good for him. So, yeah. All right, moving on. Mercy, we're just gonna revert. For now. I don't want to touch Mercy, because I don't know. I really didn't like the res change. I think like if you cancel res, you're already giving her utility, and if she has to cancel her res, she was resing in a bad spot. So you shouldn't reward the player by reducing the cooldown by 50%. I think that's too good. I don't necessarily mind the Valk kills increasing, but I'm not really sure. We're just gonna wait. I really just don't think Mercy is a huge issue right now, but we need to wait and see what happens. And now it gets really, really interesting. You know, chat. It's been a while since the Moira mains got a little bit of game facts dumped on them, right? Because I'm sorry, this is the most broken shit I have seen in a long time. And if any Moira main tries to justify this shit coming in the game, you need to tell them to go back to playing like, I don't even know, dude. It's literally Connect 4, because this is the most broken shit I've ever seen. I don't think people realize, like chat, I'm calling this right now. Moira will be hard meta. Like, you will not play any other support besides Lucio Moira in this tournament. Lucio Moira will be the best support combo in the game, and it's not close. It's not close. And I'm not complaining about that, by the way. I think rush metas are really, really good. I just think that Moira is too strong compared to Ana. Okay, here's the thing. This health penalty is nothing for what it gives in terms of healing, right? So here's what we're going to do. But actually, I think a lot of the Moira mains are going to like what I'm going to have to say here, right? So To start, I think I'm going to catch some people by surprise here, right? But if they try to justify this shit, this is why y'all shouldn't have opinions. I'm just saying. Like, actually, everyone can have an opinion. This is why you get ridiculed for your opinions, because it's dog shit. Oh, God, Chad. Do y'all remember last time the Moira mains? Listen, they can't handle that I spit facts. It's just truth. I was proven right on all this shit. They probably are malding in their little Overwatch form right now. It's probably so funny. Oh, my God. So, biotic grasp healing now consumes more health while used out of energy. Okay. Reverts being able to heal at cost of health. I don't necessarily mind it, but I don't think she needs it for now. I think we can wait on that. I think it's a little too silly. Fade now cleanses status effects from allies Moira passes through and ally players that are around her when it ends. What this does and why it can't happen the way that it is implemented here is that if Moira already has escapability, AoE healing, more healing numbers than Ana, this just literally makes her a better character at like half the requirement, maybe a quarter of the requirement. It's game breaking, right? It violates fair play. So what you can do is this. Fade only cleanses people that Moira fades through. Not on the exits. Increase CD by 1 second. So utility and value needs to come with a drop-off, right? If Moira players would rather use their fade aggressively and at a fair risk than use it defensively and to stay alive to cleanse their teammates, I'm actually okay with that because that evens the playing field a little bit and it adds more counterplay into the game that's actually healthy. Because fading through allies would be tough. If your team's split, you won't be able to get to them all. And most importantly, Moira actually is going to be punishable outside of that. So I really don't think that's too much of a problem. But you have to... Fade is what, an 8-second cooldown? We're going to increase this to 2. That's really, really good value if you're going to cleanse dynamites, if you're going to cleanse nades. Well, I'm unsure about this. But we have to do it to be safe. We have to do it to be safe because if it's too much, we can reduce it, but I don't think it will be. I think this gives Moira... This just makes Moira better Ana. Like, guaranteed. It literally just makes Moira the better version of Ana, so you just can't do it. And then this... No, absolutely not. No, these orbs already do so much. They heal so much. They build coal so fast. No, especially this. If she can already cleanse people with her fade, it just makes her better Ana. Like literally way better Ana. So, revert, heal at cost of health, and orb changes. So yeah, and that would actually make Moira an interesting character. Because here's the problem, chat. The only reason Moira is considered bad right now is because Brig is better, at least at high-level play, because Brig just hard gatekeeps the character. 6-man rush, and as you'll see in this patch, when all the Moira mains sit there and say, oh, Moira's finally going to be fair. No, she's going to be by far the best support in the game, which is just, if Moira is ever the best support in the game is broken. The game is broken. Moira Fade is a 6-second CD? Well, imagine a team can grab the nade and Moira fades a team out before the fade broken still. No, because you can still kill on the grab. I don't mind that actually. I think it's better than Immo because there's counterplay. It's better than Immo because there's actual counterplay to that, and the Moira becomes punishable. So like the Moira, if here's what Moira players need to understand that they just don't seem to, like they think that they should just have free value. No, you shouldn't. You need to make risky decisions that are costly if you want to make big plays. Like, I don't know, every other hero in the game. Like, literally every other character in the game to make a play puts themselves at risk. You ready to make the Moira mains mauled here, chat? You ready for this one? Like, for example, Doomfist. In order to get value, you have to put yourself at risk. Which is why the character is balanced and fair. Oh, that's gonna tilt the forum so hard. That's going to tilt the form so hard. Or, for example, Genji. You have to go in and actually put yourself at risk to get value. Reinhardt, you have to go in and be good with your cooldowns to get value. Moira is generally like, if you give her that level of power, she will just break the game at no cost. So there has to be some kind of cost at that point. So yeah, that's all I would do to Moira. Zenyatta, we're just going to revert him too. And wait and see. Because we need to see how Zen plays when Moira, Ana, and Lucio, Mercy are all much better. I think that this would make him pretty balanced, actually. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm not really sure. But yeah, so that's my balance patch. This is, I think if I was to balance this patch, this would be a good starting point to do it. I think the game would be good. You need to wait on DPS buffs or nerfs until you see how Brig is no longer gatekeeping the entire game. But I think that this is generally pretty good. I think Brig Ana would still actually be pretty good as well, because the Ana would just have to start using her nade on the Brig, and the Brig would CC them off the Ana and triple pack the Ana, and I think that actually it would still be pretty good. But then if Brig is triple packing Ana, that means that tanks would probably be a little bit more punishable, so there's at least an opening. I still think Brig would be good, by the way, just to be clear. I still think the character would be pretty strong. She just wouldn't be as oppressive as it is. So this would be a good starting point to see if we need to change her even more. But we'll see. That's kind of why I wanted to remove her from the game entirely until we could see how to implement her in a healthy way. Because we don't know how the game is going to play without her because it's been so long. And it sends a message to the entire gaming community who left because of the character saying, we mean business again. We mean business. So again, just to be clear, what I would do is I would literally temporarily vault the character, see how the game plays, send a message to the entire gaming industry and say, we mean business. We acknowledge our fuck up. Unlike other studios, unlike other studios, we were too stubborn to ever acknowledge our fuck ups. But now we are, and we're going to fix our game, and you guys are going to come back and play it. So yeah, there we go.
Greetings.
That's my patch, boys. That's the patch. There we go.